Hello again, and in this video I want to go over buying your first guitar. This video is for acoustic guitar. I'll do a separate one on electric. But if you're getting your first guitar, you're not sure what to get, you want to get an acoustic guitar. The two main differences are nylon string and steel string. So this here is a nylon string, and it's pretty easy to see it when you look at them because these three strings here are first, second, and third from the bottom up. They look like clear plastic, like a fishing line. These three they're usually made out of silk or some kind of thing in the core, but they're wound in metal. Now the main differences between the two are really sound. Nylon string can have a bit more of a warmer sound, softer sound. Generally, a lot of people use these for classical style or flamenco style guitar, but there's no rules to it. I mean, you can play all sorts of stuff on either one. So that's our basic sound of a nylon. Nylon acoustic. And now we'll take a look at a steel string. So here the sound's brighter and crisper, but it's also going to depend on how you're playing. You know, if I'm playing with fingers or if I'm playing with pick, it's a bit brighter. And if I'm playing with fingernail, it's going to be a little less, but bright as well. And if I'm playing with the skin of my thumb. So both have a kind of diverse sounds depending on how you're playing it. I think the biggest thing people notice at first is on a steel string, all the strings are metal, so they tend to get sore fingers faster at first, and that's going to be you can get a blister from practicing a lot at first. That will quickly turn into a callus as long as you keep practicing, and that problem goes away fast. The nylon string is a bit easier on the fingertips, but I wouldn't let that simple thing deter you, because as long as you're practicing, you'll get past that phase of the fingers hurting at first. What to look for when you're picking a guitar? I mean, preferably if you can go into a music store and check it out yourself, that's good. If you have to buy it online, you want to check the reviews on it. But normally what I'm looking for, especially as a beginner, I think the most important thing is playability. One of the biggest things is what's called the action. That's the distance of the strings to the fretboard. So if it was a high action, the string's going to be really far away. Low action, it's as close as possible. Lower action is going to make it much easier for your fingers to push down and hold a note. Another thing to check with a guitar is try to play along each and every fret. Because sometimes, like this guitar even, it's not a bad guitar, it's a Fender, but when I got it, I bought it through the mail. So when I got it, there was a problem. This fret here was badly buzzing. Now it's still buzzing. I have to adjust it again, do some adjustments to fix that. But you hear the other notes are clear. And that one has this bad sounding buzz to it. So yeah, and it's just one fret on one string. So I usually try to check all the frets, make sure they all work. If you're getting a weird buzz like that, or a dead fret where there's no sound at all, then avoid the guitar. Another thing to check for is I usually just run my fingers along the bottom of the neck here, and I want to see if these metal fret wires, if there's any sharp ones, because that happens. And it's very uncomfortable to play, so I'll try to avoid those as well. Between nylon and acoustic, it's really just a preference of sound when it comes down to it. There's no right or wrong. So for the style of music, it's gonna vary. There's no rules to it. So I mean, the best option you have from this point is listen to different examples of someone playing steel string and nylon string. String as well. And again, with the nylon string, if I use fingers or pick, it's going to change the sound. So I'll play a bit with a pick. And a bit with fingers. Alright, so there you can hear a bit of difference, but you know, the general sounds of qualities of a nylon over the steel string. This particular one was a really cheap one, but it's playable. I find the action a bit high though, and also the tuning is not as stable as I'd like it to be. It's not terrible though. That's another thing on your new guitar. A lot of times, especially with a steel string, the strings that come on it are going to feel really heavy for your fingers. It's not a bad idea to have a string change done to it, so you get a lighter gauge string. That makes the whole just pushing down on the strings, the playability, a lot easier. Usually when I buy a new guitar, I like to put new strings on anyways, because I don't know what kind are on there and how long they've been sitting on it. So it's a good thing to do, especially with steel strings. You'll notice a big difference in that normally for the playability. So that's it for now. I'll have a similar video on soon for electric guitar as well. Thanks for watching.